Morgan here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Hope you are doing well. Today is the 6th of May and I actually just got off my first IG live with a brand. It was really cool. We spoke about TikTok and being a mom in this COVID-19 era. So today I'm going to be talking about ways you can prepare yourself for childbirth. My baby is actually 15 months old today and a lot of people around me are getting pregnant and just reaching out and asking me for tips and advice. So I just thought I should do this video and share things that help me get ready for Sirene's birth. Married on the 10th of March 2018 and I had Sirene on the 6th of February 2019, and wedding planning for me was quite stressful. I left a number of things to the last minute. Like, I wasn't making decisions even though I was doing my research, and making all the decisions at once and having to make all those financial commitments at once was a bit much. So I learned from the mistakes I made during wedding planning, and that helped me prepare for childbirth and motherhood. Now, there's a video I put up talking about how I felt when I found out I was pregnant and my immediate reactions. And one of the things I did was just to call other people in my shoes. So call another blogger who was a mom, call another saxophonist who was a mom, just to find out, how they were able to adjust to this new life change. So talking to other people that were in my situation or had been in my situation was one of the first steps I did. I also had to register with my husband's HMO. So one thing I would say is, when you get married, just go and register with your husband's HMO, because before marriage I was under my father's HMO as his daughter. But then when I got married and when I found out I was pregnant, my family hospital, I went there, and if you're a child and you're under your parents' HMO, pregnancy isn't covered. So I had to join my husband's HMO, and that process took about a month. So first thing I'll say is, when you get married and you're engaging in the procreation of a stuff, and getting pregnant is a possibility, I would definitely say just make sure you register with your husband's HMO so that time isn't wasted. So the first time I was hospitalized, we actually had to pay for it from our own pocket, and it wasn't cheap. It was over 100k, and if I was under my husband's HMO at that time, we wouldn't have had to pay for it, as the insurance would have covered it. But because I hadn't yet completed the registration with the HMO, we had to pay out of pocket for it. So definitely register with your husband's HMO once you get married. And then when you find out you're pregnant, I feel you should ask around your area for hospitals with good antenatal classes. I would say you want a hospital that isn't too far from you, because some people go through morning sickness, nausea, tiredness. There are loads of different side effects of pregnancy, and you don't want to be having to travel long distances from Ikeja to Lekki to your hospital, or from Lekki to Bagada. You want somewhere that's relatively close, especially if you plan on having your baby at that hospital, so that if labor happens in the middle of the night, it's easy for you to get to your hospital. So find a hospital that's near you. Make sure you like the gynecologist, because that's important, because that's the person that's going to be checking to make sure the baby is okay. Find out about the antenatal classes. Antenatal classes are so important. That was one thing that was very important to me when I was trying to decide on a hospital from the list. I called a number of people that I knew were young moms, just to ask what hospital they use, because my family hospital wasn't under my husband's HMO, so I had to choose a new hospital. So I asked people who had gone to these hospitals, about the gynae, about what delivery was like there, about the antenatal classes. Some hospitals have antenatal classes once a month, some have every other week, some have every week. My hospital had it every other week, and that was good for me. It was a conducive time for me. It was on Thursday morning. I know there was one other hospital in VI that their antenatal class was on a Saturday, and that wouldn't have been very convenient for me, because I'm a saxophonist and I have a band and the work I do is on Saturdays. So it just keep that into consideration. Next, I would say you need books to prepare yourself. I will just show you some of the books I read while I was pregnant. I got most of them from Latana Ventures, Latana Books in VI. They're open now and they're delivering as well, so just send them a DM or check out their website for this book. The holy grail pregnancy book that is so popular everywhere is Supernatural Childbirth. This is Supernatural Childbirth. And then I also got this book from Latana, Kiss Guide to Pregnancy. It's quite big. Now there's some other books I got from Latana that I don't have anymore. I gave to one of my friends when she was pregnant. The one I really like is called Pregnancy Watch by Wonu Adetayo, and I like the fact that it has a chapter to represent every week of your pregnancy, and for every week there's a prayer and there's some encouragement, so I would definitely recommend that book. There are some other books on iBooks and I will just insert screenshots of those books as well. I also listen to positive podcasts. So there's this Nigerian called Ibiene Woman, and I would just put her Instagram page down below. There is Tolu the midwife. I actually even called her to ask for advice on hospitals in London, and she was really useful. I also was following firsttimemom.com. They aren't as active, but they used to post a lot of tips and advice and just mommy experiences, and it was just really encouraging because it was coming from someone who I went to secondary school with, and just knowing that, you know what, she was enjoying motherhood and flourishing, and just seeing what she was dealing with and how she was able to just like flourish as a mom was encouraging for me. There's this other YouTuber called It's Finally Fiona, and she shared like some podcasts that she was listening to. Ibiene Woman's one is Birthing Blissfully. There are also different pregnancy related devotionals on the YouVersion app. When you're pregnant, you need to take your vitamins, so your folic acid, your iron. You need to make sure you're eating right, because you know the baby is eating what you're eating, so you need to eat your veg and your fruits. Make sure you're eating a balanced diet. If you are able to exercise or just keep fit, try and do that so that you don't gain too much weight. If you don't care, then do you, and after pregnancy you try and lose it if you're interested in. I gained quite a lot of weight when I was pregnant. I gained 20 kg, and after like 6 months I lost about 16 of it, and I have a video just talking about how I lost the baby weight, so I'll definitely link to it above. Now there are different baby lists that show you the things that you need to buy to prepare for baby's arrival, and I have a video talking about all the things I bought for my hospital bag. I'll link to it above. But websites like Boots, Bounty, Emma's Diary, they have baby lists. Mothercare has a baby list, and your hospital will also have a baby list. So depending on where you are giving birth, you will see a list of things that are necessary for you to take to the hospital. Now babies are expensive. Babies are expensive. You're buying diapers, you're buying wipes, you have to buy bottles, you have to buy cots. I would say do it step by step. Don't do it all at once. So the way we did it, we always had a baby room, but we didn't even get it ready until after Shireni had arrived. It was when I was in England that we did the drawers in his room, so that we would have a place to keep the clothes. Just because you have to manage your money, like you don't have to rush and do everything at once if you're not able to afford it. So we did the drawers first, and we got a next to me cot, which is like a co-sleeper. It was by my bed, and I could just lift him out when I wanted to breastfeed him when he woke up in the middle of the night and put him back in. So he didn't have a cot in his room until he was about 9-10 months, because he was still sleeping in our room and he could still fit in the co-sleeper in our room, so it wasn't necessary at that point. So there's no point tying your money. Look who decided to say hi. Say hi. Say hi, mama. Say hi, people of YouTube. So yeah, this is Tireni, 15 months old. Bye. Okay, so like I was saying, sorry, Tireni just came to say hi. There's no need to buy everything that you would need in the baby's room at once, because you're not just going to need it immediately. You're not going to need your high chair until he's like 6 months, so you don't need to buy that from the get-go. You're not going to need the cot in his room if you have a co-sleeper immediately. So you can stagger your purchases so it's just not too much on your pocket. And don't like give in to pressure. Like some people might say, oh, there's one thing that slides like this. It's not, there's some things that are not necessary. Like there's some things that are just like hype, or they're just, you know, trending, but it's not necessary. Like a rocking chair is useful, but it's not necessary. You can do without it. You get. There's some things that are necessary and there's some things that are not. So just bear that in mind. Now, I would say when you're pregnant, your mental health is very important. One thing I did was I tried to just cut off negativity. I didn't listen to negative birth stories. I didn't even watch labor and delivery stories because I didn't want any negative experience to scar me or scare me. I was just listening to those birth podcasts, and most of them were positive. They were encouraging. They had like a Christian feel. And I also made a gospel playlist that I wanted to be played during labor, but my labor was so quick that there was no time for that. You should click on the link above or the card above to listen to my labor and delivery story. I feel like just because I was praying so much, I was tapping into like people's stories, the positive stories. Like one of my friends told me she was born on her brother's birthday in the house. Like she just came out of her mom. So I was tapping into those testimonies, and I had just told God that, you know what, God, please, I don't want a painful labor. I don't want a long labor. I don't want to labor for 3 or 4 days and then now have to do CS at the end of the day. And thankfully God answered my prayers. I feel like God wouldn't give you more than you can handle, and whatever you go through, it's a learning curve. I almost had tyranny at home, and I was rushed to the hospital in an ambulance. And the only thing going through my mind was I just want my baby to come out alive. I just want to be okay. And I wasn't even scared as they were with me into the theater. This is me that was supposed to have a home birth. I wasn't scared. I was just saying, God, let your will be done. Like that's legit what was going through my mind. Just, God, let your will be done. If it says yes, I'm going to have to do for this boy to come out alive. And I wasn't even scared that I was going to have surgery, because they had prepped for a CS because of what had happened to me at home. I almost had it at home, so they were wheeling me into the theater. But I wasn't nervous because I was like, you know what, God, this is your child. You gave me this child, and nothing is going to happen to this child. That pregnancy watch book is so good. There's so many amazing scriptures, and it's just really encouraging. This is why I don't usually leave my hair out in an afro. My sister is the one that's always leaving her hair out in an afro, but I left it in an afro for some TikToks yesterday and it was looking cute. So like a few weeks to my due date, my sister and her friend had dreamed separately that, you know what, Tierney arrived earlier than he was supposed to and I wasn't ready. So that like puts me on my toes, because I know God speaks to people through dreams, and I'm just like, yo, everything needs to be ready. So I would say definitely get your hospital bag ready as early as possible, so you're not panicking when your labor starts. Have the essentials that are necessary for baby's well-being and survival in the first few weeks. Also make sure you have breastfeeding friendly clothes. I have a video on breastfeeding and I've spoken about breastfeeding friendly clothes. So you want things that have like straps, like spaghetti straps, or boob suits that you can just pull down, or wrap tops that you can just pull down so that you can breastfeed. Also prepare yourself mentally for the fact that your labor might not go as planned. The baby might come early, the baby might come late. You know, I know people who did exercise and who were super active throughout their pregnancy. Yeah, their baby came like 2 weeks late and they had to be induced. Like, babies come when they want to come. You can't predict these things, so don't be too stuck in your ways that this is the way this thing must happen. It must go like this, it must go like that, because it's not necessarily going to go the way you have planned. Now there are ways you can actually prepare yourself down there for childbirth. You can give yourself peri massages. So Google it, you will see where the perineum is. You can massage it with a Peri Balm, or you can get your partner to massage it, and it just helps so that the muscles can expand easily during labor. So I wasn't massaging my peri muscles and it was too tight, so Tireni couldn't come out through it, so they had to cut it and give me an episiotomy, and I spoke about that in my postpartum video. Definitely try and massage your peri muscles, okay? So yeah, I would just say when you're preparing for childbirth, make sure you prepare yourself mentally. Positive stories, positive energy only. Don't allow negative people around you. If you know, okay, your mommy in the labor room is going to give you pressure and she's going to make you panic, then say you don't want her in the labor room. Do you get? One of my friends, like one of my ex-colleagues, put up a video a couple of days talking about her own pregnancy journey. My girl had something called cervical incompetence, which means the baby could have dropped out and she has to be on bed rest for 3 months. Her wedding was supposed to happen on a Saturday, and I think on the Tuesday or Wednesday, that was when they found out that she had cervical incompetence and she couldn't have her wedding. Like, she had her wedding in a wheelchair. there were only 10 guests there. She lived in the hospital for 3 months before the baby's arrival. Her husband lived behind the hospital, and I'll link to that video in the description bar. But I'm just telling you to let you know, you cannot predict your pregnancy. Like, you cannot predict it. Some people have hyperemesis and they're in the hospital throughout their pregnancy, they're throwing up every day. You actually cannot predict it. So if you know you're not ready to get pregnant, use contraception. Use contraception if you know you're not ready to handle or deal with, let me just say, no one is actually ready to be a mom until the baby comes. That's what one of my friends told me, that you're actually not going to be ready until you see the baby. That's when you'll be fully ready, because you have nothing to do but be ready. Having a baby is a lot. You will spend money on the child, you will invest time, like, it's a lot of investment. Raising up a child is sacrificial. It's very sacrificial. So if you know you're not ready to have a child, please don't engage in unprotected sex. Use your contraception, please. Or go and see a gynecologist and find out about the available contraceptives that are there. There's the pill, there is the coil, there are different things you can do. There's condoms. So yeah, please don't be reckless and don't bring a child into the world to suffer. Also, there's this app, there's a contraction monitoring app that you can get that would help you monitor your contractions when they do start, so you know when you should head to the hospital. And if you have friends who want to get you things for your baby and they're like, oh, what's your baby registry, make sure you get your baby registry ready early so that you can have things come on time. Tyranny came earlier than he was supposed to, and while I was in labor, they actually brought his next to me, the cot for him, and yeah, they had to re-deliver it because obviously everyone was in the hospital. So yeah, these babies are very funny and they come when they want to come. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button and check out all my other videos. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the description bar below. Motherhood is beautiful. I hope I didn't scare you. Motherhood is beautiful. The children are beautiful. They bring so much flavor and fulfillment and joy and happiness. Like, children are actually blessings, but you need to be prepared. There's something called postpartum blues. Some people have postpartum depression. Make sure you have a good support system around you. Like, I had my mom and my husband, and my dad was there at some point, my mother-in-law, I had cousins, I had friends, I had people around me, and I surrounded myself with positive energy. So if you're pregnant, congratulations, welcome to motherhood. This is going to be life-changing, but you can do it. Like, you can actually do it. You can do it, and you can do it successfully. I don't have any magic power. Like, I'm a woman like you. No one has 2 heads. No mommy has 2 heads. We're all just winging it and just trying to do our best. Just try and do what's best for your baby. Everyone's just trying to do what's best for their baby. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you in my next one. Bye. Oh yeah, and I forgot to add, enjoy your pregnancy. People are going to be pampering you, you know. Everyone is going to want to make sure like you're okay and you're good. Enjoy your sleep. Enjoy it, because when baby comes, things are going to change, you know. Baby's going to want you. Baby's going to want to feed every 2 hours. You're going to have saggy boobs. Your life is going to change, and no one knows what their life is going to be like after pregnancy. Like, no one could have described, you know, the pain of heavy boobs or the pain that I will feel down there and how difficult it will be to walk. No one can describe it. So just prepare yourself mentally for a learning experience. And I forgot to add that I used Palmer's tummy butter on my tummy to help with stretch marks, and I didn't get stretch marks until like the 36th week or something. Some people use bio oil, some people use shea butter. Just make sure your skin is moisturized. Okay, bye.